Hi guys, welcome to week 104 of the Channel on Monday series. For this spread I started by making some embellishments because those would need some time to dry, and to do so I'm mixing up some Art Basics 3D Gloss Gel by Finnavar with some glass glitter, also from Finnavar, and I chose two different colors to mix up my paste. Once this is thoroughly mixed together, and I added some more glass glitter, and once this is thoroughly mixed together, I can apply this over a stencil on the surface that I prepped to do so, so that it can be left to dry without any danger. So I'm simply spreading my mixture over this Finnavar butterfly stencil. I'm trying to create a surface that is as flat as possible, but I do have some dimension in my paste. So I do have dimension, even if I try to get it as flat as possible. And here they are. Now at this point they don't look like much. Give them a bit of time to dry. This is how they looked when they were dry. You can really see the glass glitter now. But I have some openings in it, and this is where I got inspired by Kezia on her Live with Prima session, where she combined art sugar with glass glitter, and I absolutely loved the result. So I wanted to do the same here on my embellishment, so I'm adding some art sugar also by Finnavar. But to make it stick to my butterflies, I applied some soft matte gel so that it would stay in place. And I'm taking the excess powder so that I can put it back in the jar. Now it doesn't look like it, but I left it to dry in between before I went on and did this, which is peel them off. And as it is done with 3D gel, it's quite resistant. So they're soft, they're pliable, but they're quite resistant. They wouldn't tear up just like that, but now it's still just 3D gel, so you still have to be careful when peeling them off, and you have to be sure they are completely dry. Otherwise you will have spots that will stick on your plastic. So I left them aside, and now I can go and prep my page that I want to work on, and this is one of the questions that I answered in my 10 frequently asked questions on my blog, for which you can find the link in the description of this video, on how I prep my book. So I just stick two pages together, and I'm doing so using soft matte gel from Finnavar, and I'm also applying masking tape in the middle so that whatever liquid I use don't colorizes my whole book. Now the left side was not done with soft matte gel, and you can immediately see the difference in the two glues. I have to admit that Finnavar's products are very high quality, and well, you can see the difference right here between the left and the right side. Then I'm applying a bit of Art Basics heavy white gesso, and I'm also spraying some water on it so that I can spread it easily and keep quite a transparency. I still want to see what's on my book when I'm done applying the gesso, but I want to tone it down. And then I'm also insisting with the gesso on the masking tape so that it has the same color as all the rest. So I want to cut down the yellow side of the masking tape. And then quickly drying it using my heat gun. This is one of 7 Dot Studios images that I want to use, and some Finnavar Prima paper. And then from a strip that I had left over, I'm cutting some strips of paper. I want to make a whole bunch of tags, So I'm placing some marks on the back side of my paper so that I can easily cut the corners away to make them look like tags. So once all the marks are made, I can cut them. And I also need to punch some holes to make them look like real tags. Adding just a tiny bit of distress ink all around the edges. And if you would like to know which colors I used in glass glitter or distress ink, I can only invite you to check out my blog where I list the complete list of ingredients. I'm stamping with distress ink so that I can apply some distress embossing powder over it. Distress ink is slow drying, so I can use it as an embossing ink. Now, if you use distress embossing powder, don't forget to shake your jar before you apply it. And now I'm doing the same thing on the other side. And when you start melting your distress embossing powder, if you look very, very closely, you will see that it does change color. So be careful not to burn it, because if you do overheat it, it will burn. And don't touch it until it's totally cooled down. So I'm leaving it aside so that it can cool, and I'm continuing to apply distress ink on the edges of all my pieces of paper. Gluing my focal image down with soft matte gel that I applied in my precision bottle. And then I continue to make some finishing touches, to add some finishing touches to my tags. So I also want them to have a little reinforcement ring, like real tags. So I punched out some circles, out of which I'm punching the center. And of course I added distress ink on every edge. And now I can glue them down on the tags. And some are bigger than, some of the reinforcement rings are larger than the tags, but that's okay. I'll trim them down so that they fit more or less. Now that my embossing powder is completely cooled down, I can wipe the resisting elements out of it. And that's what will create the distressed look of this embossing powder. Placing my tags just like I would want them, and it does look a bit like a piano. And now I can glue them down using my Art Basics soft matte gel and a paintbrush. And now that I've trimmed the excess away, I want to add some more distress ink on that side. I'm adding some more stamping, and this time I'm using archival ink. I'm making some marks so that I know where I have to glue down my cambric, which is already colorized as it's a leftover from another project. So I'm applying some soft matte gel directly to the paper, and I'm placing my cambric in it. And now I can simply glue my focal element on top of it. This paperclip was one of the embellishments of the previous page, and I included it in this page as well. So I did keep in mind that I would have a paperclip on that side. So I did choose embellishments that would work together with the paperclip. These are primary elements, and I'm just scooping out a tiny bit of powder to dilute it in the water because I want to add some color shading. So I don't want to add a harsh color to the spread, but just some idea of color. Now I'm going in with a second color, which is a gray one, and I'm only using this to add some shading. It's a very light gray, so I don't have to be afraid to for it to be too dark, and I just want to add some shading with it. Now that everything is dried, I can add some more distress ink all around the edge, and I'm going in with black to really have a clear edge around my spread, a well-defined edge. And then using my soft gel precision bottle, I'm gluing down whatever came loose. And here are my butterflies again. So now I can add them to my spread. I'm simply gluing them down using the soft matte gel again, as the base of the butterflies is made out of out of dried 3D gloss gel. They stick down like nothing. So this is some kind of embellishment that I will be making a lot in the future because I really liked how it turned out. Now, to give them some more dimension, to make them stand out a bit more, I ran around with charcoal pencil, and then using a blending stump I blended it. And then using some distress ink, I'm distressing the whole thing. I'm adding a tiny bit of heavy black gesso to my butterflies. It's really a light touch to tone down the blink just a little bit, because the rest of the spread was so vintage looking and so distressed that it was a bit of a harsh contrast with the shiny butterflies. And then I'm also going back in with the Art Basics heavy white gesso around the tags and very lightly again over the butterflies. I decided on a text that I wanted to add, which is also by 7 Dot Studio from the Gold Country collection. And I really love how a lot of ladies add thread to their spreads, so I wanted to try it out, and I love the organic feeling it gives to the page because of the wild shape it adds to it. Now, heavy gesso is also very handy when you need to put some weight on something. I still wanted my butterfly to pop some more, so I even ran around with my Uniball pen. Thank you for joining me today for this new Channel on Monday video. Don't forget to hit the like button if you liked today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. We are almost reaching 10,000, and of course that will be paired to a giveaway. I hope to see you there too. Join me on my blog for the complete list of ingredients, and see you back next time. Ta-da!